everyone, and welcome back. Today, we're diving deep into the latest twists and turns of this epic story. Let's get right in. Yingdang, a picture of innocence, offers a cup of tea to Tang Zhou. But look closely, she's slipped in some hewan dew, an aphrodisiac. Tang Zhou, ever the gentleman, starts to refuse. But then, Yandan's voice pops into his head, telling him to play along. Keep her calm, she whispers, and find a weakness. So, Tang Zhou takes the tea. To make conversation, he asks about the purity talisman Pei Luo always carries. Yingdang, eager to please, shows him the one Pei Luo just discarded. As Tang Zhou holds it, he catches a strong whiff of alcohol. Yingdang explains that Pei Luo replaces the talisman every single day. A light bulb goes off for Tang Zhou. If Pei Luo needs a new talisman daily and it smells like alcohol, he must be frequenting the wine cellar.
Without even a sip of the drugged tea, Tang Zhou makes a quick exit, leaving a fuming Yingdan behind.
She silently swears she'll get her revenge on both him and Yandan eventually. Meanwhile, Yumo is having his own intense conversation with Pei. He's questioning the origin of a powerful demon-subduing talisman Pei Luo carries. Pei Luo casually says he had it custom-made by a demon hunter. But Yumo isn't buying it. He warns Pei Luo that the peachwood used in the talisman is incredibly potent and could backfire if it encounters
the wrong kind of energy.
He offers to inspect it, but Pei Luo smoothly deflects, explaining he's already taken precautions. His explanation is a little too perfect, a little too rehearsed. This sets off alarm bells for Yumo. He starts to suspect Pei Luo is secretly practicing forbidden, dangerous techniques. Just then, their conversation is interrupted. A guard bursts in, announcing that a celestial master Tang Zhou has gone to visit the side concubine. Panicked, Pei Luo rushes off to see what's happening. With Pei Luo gone, Yumo takes the opportunity to explore. He wanders into a quiet, secluded hall and stumbles upon a hidden chamber. The air inside is thick, almost buzzing with concentrated spiritual energy. This has to be Pei Luo's secret cultivation room. But his path is blocked by a warded talisman, a powerful magical barrier. He knows he can't break it alone. He'll have to wait for Tang Zhou. Speaking of Tang Zhou, he's already one step ahead. He and Yandan have made their way to the wine cellar, acting on his hunch. They're barely inside when a figure in black, their face hidden by a mask, lunges at them. The attack is sudden and vicious. Just as things are about to get dicey, Yu Emul, Anibes, right in the nick of time. Together, he and Tang Zhou fight off the attacker. The masked figure, realizing they're outnumbered, beats a hasty retreat. But as they flee, Tang Zhou cleverly and secretly plants a tracking talisman on them. They won't get far. With the immediate danger gone, Yandan makes a horrifying discovery. She notices the large wine jars lining the cellar. Peeking inside one, she gasps. It's the missing women. They're all there, lifeless, inside the jars. Yumo examines the bodies and quickly determines the cause of death. Their throats were slit. This wasn't the work of a demon. A human did this. The pieces of the puzzle are starting to fall into place. When Yandan hears that Tang Zhou managed to tag their attacker, she's all action. What are we waiting for? She says. Let's go get him. Tang Zhou and Yumo followed the tracker, their hearts pounding with suspicion. And there he was, the masked figure they'd been hunting. It was Pei Luo himself. The truth hit them like a tidal wave. He had been practicing forbidden arts all along. Cornered and exposed, Pei Luo flew into a rage, lashing out with desperate power. But Tang Zhou was stronger. He easily subdued him, snatching away the demon-subduing talisman. And then the full, ugly story spilled out. Pei Luo had sacrificed innocent women, all to refine an elixir of immortality. He'd even framed Yangshan to cover his tracks. Now, with the final step to godhood within his grasp, he refused to give up. He channeled all his remaining power. A last, defiant act, but it was no use. Yandan, Tang Zhou, and Yumo joined forces, their combined strength shattering the demonic furnace and his twisted dreams along with it. Severely injured, Pei Luo's crimes were laid bare for all to see. As his life ebbed away, memories flooded his mind. He saw himself, young and plagued by illness, begging Zheng Chen for another divine pill to extend his life. But the Junkin, knowing the cost, refused. Consumed by anger and a selfish desire for longevity, Pei Luo made a fateful choice. He took a concubine, a fairy named Yingdang, who had been exiled to the mortal realm. That single act shattered Jiangshan's heart. She gave up, letting him go, and Pei Luo never looked back. Yumo, his voice trembling with fury, condemned Pei Luo's betrayal. He revealed a secret that twisted the knife even deeper. Jiang Qin had once used Yumo's own heterochromatic eye to save Pei Luo's life, even lending him 20 years of her own lifespan. And this was how he repaid her with treachery and murder. Yumo reached out and reclaimed his eye. The magic that held back time shattered. In an instant, Pei Luo's hair turned bone white, the years catching up to him all at once. A single tear escaped his eye, rolling down his withered cheek. It landed on a small wooden box, and with a soft click, the lock sprang open. Yandan gasped. All Zhang Chen had ever wanted was a single, genuine tear of remorse from him. Inside lay the marriage contract they had written on their wedding day, a promise to never abandon each other. Overwhelmed with anguish, Pei Luo clutched the paper, his body shaking with sobs. Just then, Yandan noticed it, a faint wisp of Zhang Qin's remaining breath, sealed within a flower petal. She urged Pei Luo to look, to see her one last time. Through his tears, Pei Luo choked out an apology, but it was too late. Zhang Qin's spirit faded into nothingness. Pei Luo coughed up a mouthful of blood and died, his heart finally broken. But Tang Zhou knew this wasn't the end. Pei Luo wasn't the one who forced Yandan back into her flower form. A far more powerful entity was lurking in the palace. Yumo offered to use his eye to restore Yandan, but Tang Zhou stopped him. It was too risky. They were there to capture demons. A human suddenly appearing would raise too many questions. Reluctantly, Yumo agreed. Suddenly, Yandan sensed a strange pull. The wind had died down, yet her petals were drifting towards the top of the ruined furnace. She realized a powerful artifact must be nearby. Tang Zhou's eyes narrowed. It had to be Li Chun. The three raced back to the secret chamber, just in time to see guards carrying a large sack. Tang Zhou sliced it open, and out tumbled Yingdang, Pei Luo's concubine. She claimed she was a victim, forced into serving him. As a sign of goodwill, she offered to give Tang Zhou the artifact, Li Chun. But before she could, the artifact flew from its hiding place and landed right in Tang Zhou's hand. Yingdang stared in shock, saying the artifact had never chosen a master before. It must be fate! She gifted it to him, promising to teach him its secrets if he escorted her safely back to her sect. Without hesitation, Tang Zhou agreed. A new mystery and a new danger had just begun.
Opens with Yumo, determined to take Yandan back to the safety of Yellen Mountain.
But Tang Zhou isn't having it. He stands his ground, refusing to let her go. The tension is so thick you could cut it with a knife. Just as things are about to escalate, Yandan steps in. She's the voice of reason, trying to calm both of them down. Yumo turns to her, his gaze softening, and asks what she truly wants. Then, something incredible happens. He uses his heterochromatic eye, and in a swirl of light, Yandan is transformed back into her human form. She flexes her fingers, feeling a surge of power. A smile lights up her face. Her abilities are still intact. Just then, Yingdang arrives. She looks at Yandan with a blank expression, as if seeing a stranger. You see, her memories of the heavenly realm and of Yandan were wiped clean long ago. Tang Zhou, ever the gentleman, announces his plan to escort Yingdang back to her sect, and he wants Yandan to come along. Yumo immediately objects. This is not part of his plan to keep her safe. But Yandan has a plan of her own. She tells them she wants to see the world, to travel and experience everything. Most importantly, she wants to fulfill her promise to Jungchin by writing a magnificent play about her life. She turns to Yumo, her eyes pleading, and asks him to join them on their journey. She promises they'll return to Yellen Mountain together afterward. Faced with her earnest request, Yumo reluctantly agrees. Meanwhile, in the Eastern Sea, the Seashell clan presents Aojuan with a formidable new weapon, the Swiftwind Bow. He's told it's unmatched in speed and sharpness, the perfect tool for hunting down his nemesis, Yumo. Aojuan's eyes gleam with anticipation. He can't wait to test it out.
But Kyolin steps forward, trying to reason with him.
She explains that Yumo has no desire to rule the four seas. His only wish is to be with the woman he loves. Hearing this, Aojuan explodes with rage. This is the first time Kaolin has ever sought him out, and it's to plead for another man. It's a bitter pill to swallow. Seeing his fury, Kaolin makes a desperate decision. She tells him she'll let go of her feelings for Yumo and agrees to marry him, but only if he promises to spare Yumo's life.
Aojuan, seeing his chance, readily agrees.
Kaiola, naive and relieved, rushes off to prepare her wedding attire, believing she has secured Yumo's safety. But the moment she's gone, Aojuan's face darkens. He orders his spies to keep a close watch on both Kaiolan and her father, the Southern Sea King. His true intentions are clear. He will kill Yumo the first chance he gets. Later, Kaolin is trying on her beautiful wedding dress when her father, the Southern Sea King, comes to see her. He immediately notices how weak and pale she looks. With dawning horror, he realizes she has given away her most precious reverse scala, part of her very life force. He desperately asks who she gave it to, but Kaolin refuses to answer. She knows how cruel Aojuan can be, and fears that revealing the truth would endanger not only Yumo, but her father and their entire kingdom. Heartbroken and helpless, her father leaves her in sorrow. Back on the road, our group is escorting Yingdang to her set. Yandan is chatting away, casually mentioning a piece of demon lore. When a demon dies, they forget all their past memories, crossing the river of forgetfulness before they're reborn. Hearing this, Yumo quietly expresses his hope that Jungchin will be reincarnated as an ordinary epiphyllum, free to live a simple, peaceful life. Yandan, however, believes that even in the next life, Jungchin might still yearn for Pei Luo. Seeing the flicker of sadness in Yumo's eyes, she tries to comfort him, worried that he's hurting. Yumo realizes she's misunderstood his feelings. He can't tell her the truth, that he lent Jungchin his eye, or the real story of her own banishment from the heavens and her lost memories. All he can do is gently tell her that he and Jungchin never had that kind of special relationship. Sensing there's more to it, but not wanting to push, Yandan drops the subject. Throughout the journey, Yingdong is constantly trying to get Tang Zhou's attention. She fusses over him, offering him food and drink, but he remains completely cold and distant. His focus is elsewhere. Yandan, meanwhile, is completely absorbed in her writing. She's channeling all her energy into her script, weaving the tragic love story of Jungchen and Pei Luo into a beautiful play. One evening, Yingdang prepares a meal, cooking dishes in the celestial style. As Yandan tastes them, a strange sense of familiarity washes over her, like a forgotten dream. She can't quite place why the flavors feel so nostalgic. Unfazed, Yingdang turns to ask about Tang Zhou's favorite foods, still determined to win him over. The simmering tension between Yumo and Tang Zhou finally boils over. Yumo throws down a challenge. If he wins their duel, he gets to take Yandan away. Tang Zhou, never one to back down, accepts. The two clash in a spectacular display of power. They are perfectly matched, their skills so evenly balanced that neither can gain an advantage. Yandan and Yingdong watch from the sidelines, their expressions a mix of awe and anxiety. They decide to go for a second round, but this time, Yandan can't stand it anymore. She runs between them, stopping the fight. She begs Yumo to stay and help Tang Zhou find the 4 sacred artifacts. Then she turns to Tang Zhou, persuading him to promise he won't lead his sect to attack Yellen Mountain. She makes them shake hands, officially forming what she jokingly calls the Duwang Gadita Day Squad. With a truce established, she turns to Tang Zhou with one more request, to unlock the bully lock on her wrist. He hesitates for a moment, then reluctantly agrees. As the lock clicks open, Yandan throws her arms up in celebration. Finally, free. But as she celebrates her newfound freedom, Yingdang watches the easy, playful dynamic between her and Tang Zhou, and a seed of jealousy begins to take root in her heart. And that's where we'll leave it for today. What a roller coaster of emotions. What do you think will happen next? Will Ao Zhuan's treachery be discovered? And how will Yingding's growing jealousy affect the group? Let me know all your theories in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more. See you next time!